I'm sitting here with Peyton today to go over some first-time home buyer questions that are frequently asked. So to start off, Peyton, what are the first steps in the home buying process?
Good question. So as a first-time home buyer, it is really critical that you get in touch with your mortgage lender first. A lot of home buyers in general think that they should contact the realtor first, and I think that's a big mistake because a mortgage lender can help you figure out how much you qualify for, not only how much you qualify for, but how to get within your comfort range with payment, and then that can direct you on what price point to be looking at. So we can give you all of the advice that you need to go to your realtor with where you'd like to get started. And we also have realtor referrals for some of the top realtors in town that we can match you up with for that second step.
Perfect. Minimum down payment. How much? What is the down payment?
So the minimum down payment depends on the product type. The lowest down payment available is 0% for veterans, 3% on conventional financing, 3.5% on FHA, and sometimes up to as much as 10% for jumbo. Some people will put down 20% to avoid monthly mortgage insurance as an extra fee.
Okay, perfect. And then assistance. Do I get any as a first-time home buyer?
Down payment assistance?
Mm-hmm.
So down payment assistance is certainly available. It is not limited to first-time home buyers. That is a common misconception, but it can be a great tool for a first-time home buyer as long as you're within the qualifying requirements of down payment assistance.
Okay, perfect. And then, when do I pay? When do I pay my first mortgage payment?
So the first mortgage payment is due the first of the month following closing. So the great thing about this is you actually skip a month, which as a first-time buyer, after having just paid the funds to close, it's kind of nice to have that 1 month where you don't owe a mortgage payment. And also for someone who has a lease that's expiring, you could potentially close your loan in August. If you close your loan in August, anytime in August, you would not have a payment due in September. Your first payment would be due August, September, October, would be due October 1st. So in the month of September, there would be no payment due, which is really nice because if you are moving out of your rental and you want time to make that move, or if you want to paint or do something to the new home, it affords you the time to do that as well.
Well, perfect. That's actually very good to know. And I heard too, you said, bringing some funds to closing. That's the biggest thing is, when do I pay, for all those fees and such?
Good question.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks think that they have to pay their lender or their realtor, and you don't have to pay anything until you're actually under contract and moving forward. Our advice is technically free until the point at which you've made a commitment to move forward. So you shouldn't hesitate to reach out to your lender upfront for advice on your mortgage financing. Even go through underwriting, because if you don't close, you don't have to pay anything for that. And then same thing with the realtor. Realtor commissions are actually paid out of the seller's proceeds at closing. So you have nothing to risk by getting started and just looking into things. As far as when the funds that you do need to bring, like your down payment and your closing costs, those are not due until the day that you actually close. But you do want to make sure that you have earnest money saved up, because you're going to have to put down 1 to 2% of the purchase price at the time that you write your offer. You need to be prepared to do that.
And earnest money, what is that?
So earnest money is a check that you write to show the seller that you're earnest about purchasing the property, and it is held by the title company up until the closing date. It is a deposit, and so it's credited back at closing in full, and it just comes off of what you need to bring to closing, and it's also what holds you accountable to the contract. If the contract falls through and you stay within the terms of the contract, then you are eligible to receive a refund earlier than at closing, but it's your skin in the game.
Okay, perfect. And then, what is included in my monthly payment?
So a monthly payment is typically referred to as PITI, which is short for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. The taxes will be dependent on the property. Homeowners insurance is something that every home buyer has to have to insure them against risk. Things like if there was ever a fire or something, it would be the cost to rebuild or to cover cover the home and the land and whatever the situation may call for. A roof if there was a hailstorm, things like that. Right. Sometimes folks have an additional monthly cost called an HOA fee, homeowners association. If your property is within a homeowners association, then you may have an additional monthly fee for that. But that's unrelated to the mortgage. And the only other additional monthly fee that you could see as part of the mortgage payment is called mortgage insurance. And that's for clients who have less than 20% down.
Perfect. And that is all the questions that we have today. And if you guys have any questions too, Team Payton's info is linked right here, as well as in the bio. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to helping you with your home buying needs.